Hi there and welcome to another exciting Periscope video, and today I am joined by Grant Cardone and I'm excited to have him here today. Grant Cardone is a New York Times bestseller. He's an author, a speaker, sales marketing expert. Now, Grant has spoken in all sorts of places, even the Pentagon. He's spoken around the world in Latin America, Central and Eastern Europe, Russia, and a ton more. And he is here today to talk about Periscope because he's doing some really killer stuff with Periscope. So, Grant, it's really good to have you here. Thanks for joining us.
So glad to be here with you, and appreciate your hustle to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and do this on my time schedule. By the way, I've been to Auckland. I've been I did a tour of New Zealand and Australia. I don't know, probably 20 years ago.
Okay, well, that's a little while ago.
You could even do a video on your phone.
Oh my gosh! Well, you nearly due for another visit down here then. I
am due. I love your country. I love the beauty there, and I love the people.
Oh, thanks, man. So how long? Let's talk about Periscope. How long have you been using Periscope?
Well, how long has Periscope been around?
Well, since March, right? So you were there right at the start?
I was there. I probably in the 2 or 3 weeks after it launched. I'm like, wow, this is really, really interesting. I didn't actually understand it at first until you do it. You know, because you're thinking with video. You're thinking, oh, it's video. I'm gonna take a video on my camera, but it's so much different than that. And when I started playing with it, I remember my first Periscope, I think I had 40 people on. I was like, whoa, I can't believe this many people are here, right? and now we do scopes that have, 8,000 and 10,000 people on.
It's insane. Whenever I get the notification that you're going live, I can never get on there in time to give comments or anything because like 2 seconds after it says blocked because too many people are on there.
Yeah, well, the trick with that, I'm sure you already know the trick, is you just sign out, come back in, sign out, come back in, sign out, come back in until you find a little opening. You'll squirt in.
Okay, I'll have to try that one. I didn't know that one.
So the guy from T-Mobile, John Leisure, he runs T-Mobile, and he does a lot of periscoping. And he's always got, a couple thousand people on. It's very, very difficult to get in his broadcast and comment.
Yep.
And so I did it last night where I had to dump 4 times to get in.
Okay.
You get so many comments. I mean, the one thing that I would tell Periscope is they got to figure out a way for the person doing the scope to be able to read the comments, because there's so many sometimes that flash that I can't even respond to them. The person scoping can't actually respond to the questions fast enough to disappear.
Oh, it's a tough problem. Yeah, no, but that's fantastic. And it's so good to see you doing so many, you bring a lot of content with your Periscopes. How do you structure your Periscope?
This is the real difficulty for people. They're like, man, how do you do so many of these? Like, most people just do not have a lot of content. That's the big problem. I think that's what the scoper, the broadcaster, is going to realize very quickly, that their ability to speak to the public is very narrow, because we have not developed the skill as a society to talk to people about a lot of different things over long periods of time. Now, certainly there's people that are going on there and just, look, I'm the #1 meerkatter in the world. Okay. And I'm probably the top 5 or 10 periscopers. There's people that have more hearts than me, but the number of broadcasts, the length of the broadcast, and the varying content, so that you can build a brand out and not just be there and be foolish and be wasting people's time. Because more and more people come on. This is a long way to answer your question. As more and more people come on, the cream, if you will rise to the top. And the cream in this case will be content. The ability to deliver real content to people that is not just wasting the viewer's time. So the first thing that I think about when I'm doing a scope, like what you're doing right here, is very, very valuable. Time is people's most valuable commodity. It's not money. It's nothing except time. I mean, time is everything to people. And so when I do a scope, I'm thinking first and foremost, how do I best utilize that person's time? What is my message for that? So what I did was, and I've done this with all social mediums. I see Periscope as an extension of any other social medium, Facebook, LinkedIn. It's just a different way to deliver a message. This much more animated, much more lively, much more engagement, where people can come and go, leave as they choose.
Right.
So I look at it like, hey, what message can I do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Because I want to be there that much.
How do you come up with all of that? Do you just, I guess you read a lot. Where do you pull all of your...
Yeah, what I did on all these, I actually did this broadcast for Social Selling Summit yesterday. There's about 8,000 people in this webcast summit. And I drew out the lines, all possible lines that I have to communicate with people. From going to somebody's office and talking to somebody one-on-one, to doing a Periscope, to doing a Facebook post, a LinkedIn, an article on Medium or Huffington Post, or wherever I might do that, or a phone call. Maybe I make a phone call to a client. See, to me, all these are mediums to communicate. So the first thing I did was draw out every line possible that I can use to send a message. The second thing I did then is look at the appropriate content that I would drop on that line. And so for Periscope, it's very, very loose on Periscope because I don't have just salespeople there. I'm known as a sales guy. I'm also known as a business guy. I'm known as an entrepreneur. I made a list basically of everything that I've done in my life that I could drop on that Periscope line that would be appropriate for the line. I'm a father. That's content. I'm a husband. That's content. I married a girl that didn't want to go out with me. That's tremendous content. I've written 5 books. That's content. Anything you've done in your life, if you're a plumber, contractor, if you recovered from a drug addiction, if you were brought up by a single mother, if your father died, if anything and everything, right? If your parents had a divorce, all that is content that you get to select from in your life as kind of a bio of who you are that you can share with the public. Then you have to add, am I wasting people's time or am I adding value?
Right. Absolutely. So how do you turn, obviously we want to create content, and you were mentioning before you've done 900 scopes. Was that correct? Yeah, like that's a lot of content. But how do you turn each of these scopes into money? Like, do you focus on lead generation? Are you trying to sell every time? How do you sell on Periscope?
Well, the first thing that people need to understand is that if I don't know you, I'm not going to buy anything from you ever.
Absolutely.
Number 2, if I hear about you for the first time, I'm very unlikely to buy from you. You could make me an offer or something right now. We don't know each other well enough to transact, right? Sure. So how many of my scopes have you seen now?
Probably 10, maybe. I think.
Does it feel like you already know me?
A little, yeah.
So the deal with scope is to get your public to know who you are and trust you. First, I have to come out of obscurity. This kills more businesses and more brands and more companies than anything. Obscurity means I don't know who you are. But there's another definition of obscurity. I know you, I faintly know you, or maybe I intimately know you, but I forgot about you. I forgot about you when I was ready finally to buy that book or buy that car or get my house a new air conditioner. I forgot about, oh my God, I forgot my cousin or my uncle is in the air conditioning business. And I forgot about it. See, that's the second level of obscurity, which is I know you, but I forgot about you. The beauty of the scopes and all the mediums that you can communicate on today is to crash the first obscurity. That's fairly easy, actually. But there's 7 billion people on planet Earth. Most 99% of them do not know me, even though I would be considered I humbly say I would be considered a celebrity in the social media space. But 99.9% of the people don't even know who I am, don't know my name. I would not be recognized anywhere. If you go to China, Taiwan, Japan, Mexico, anywhere in Latin America, they're like, yeah, I don't think so. So my job as a business person is first to crash the obscurity, level 1, and then number 2. That means I got to keep my face in front of people over a long period of time. This is a marathon you're running here. So I spend, if there's a proportion, I spend probably 80% of my time getting people to know me And then 20% of my time saying, oh, by the way, I have this thing that I'm doing right now that includes an offer or some giveaway. So if you look at what we do out of my offices in Miami, I mean, we produce tremendous, unbelievable, mind-boggling amounts of content. So I did a webcast 2 weeks ago. We finished doing the webcast. It's a live webcast. We streamed it out to 6,000 people that paid to be on that webcast. It was a tremendous value add. And when I got done with it, I went to my crew and said, okay, we're going to do another one next week and a new topic. And they were like, are you kidding me, man? I'm like, yeah, we're going to do another one. So I have something to announce all the time.
Yeah.
You know, it's vital that you always have something to talk about that's exciting about you, your brand, or your company. And that takes a tremendous commitment and a lot of create.
Right. Absolutely. So, I mean, people that are listening here, we're going to have varied levels of people. We're going to have people that are just starting out with Periscope and just starting out building their own business. And then we're going to have some more advanced people. But people that are just starting out, apart from, you know, dive in and stick with it and be committed, do you have any other tips for getting those just starting out?
Yeah, look, what are you going to talk about? You know, your Periscope's going to start like this. Hey, welcome. There's going to be 6 people on. I mean, you're going to feel freaking bizarre. Like I'm talking to 12 people, 6 people, 3 people, you know, so you want to get engagement. Who are you? Where are you from? Take your time at the beginning of this thing, getting to know people, right? Who are they? Why did you come here? Do you know who I am? Then you have to go into a promote. A promote is not a sale. You have to tell people over and over and over who you are. If you're not promoting yourself, somebody told me yesterday, man, you're constantly promoting yourself. I'm like, yeah. Dude, what the hell you think? Why the hell you wake up every day?
Right. What else are you supposed to be doing?
If you're not promoting yourself, then nobody's going to promote you but you. Right. You can hire a PR company. I've hired 5 PR companies. Okay, I've been through 5 PR companies. I don't resent them. I'm just telling you. Nobody can promote you better than you can. And if you have a problem promoting yourself, you're dead today. And so the first thing I would do is go on, hey, thanks for coming in, promote your Periscope. Last night I did one on real estate, big real estate deals, you know, and I put a bunch of little money signs behind it, little childish, immature, what are they called? The little things. Yeah, emoticons or whatever they call it. So I'm 57 years old. I shouldn't be doing that. But it grabs people's attention, right? And so I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to do a scope each night about the same time. And I'm going to use a big title. And then when people come in, first thing is I got to drag an audience. I got to get attention. And the second thing is going to be like, I need to talk to people. Now, you're going to have 2 levels. One, I got 6 people. How do I get those 6 people to tell their friends about me to their 6,000 friends? Because they have access to your audience. You don't have access in the beginning to the audience. Right. So you need to be interesting, very interesting. You have to be like, you have to get your public to either love you or hate you. But you cannot walk down the middle of the road here. Right. Okay. If you're going to be Carson, we got a guy running for president. He's got an 81% favorable rating in America. If he did a scope, Ben Carson, nobody would watch his scope. He's just too nice. So you got to figure out, if you're going to be that nice, you have to be extremely, extremely content rich. Right. And you're going to have to vary that content, and you're going to have a lot of content to come with every day if you're just going to be the nicest person on planet Earth. You got to be very, very interesting. So be interesting, get engagement, have a reason for your clientele, because that's what they are, your customers, to share that stream with other people. So you need to say something a little provocative or a little twisted or a little hooky that says, my God, man, my brother has to see this. I mean, that's what I'm going for in everyone. I'm going for the holy grail in a scope is a share. Yep. That I heard something in here so compelling, which could be your name. I mentioned your name. That's a good way to get people to share. To help other people build their following or you said something so like provocative that they're like, oh my God, I got to share that. I can't believe I just saw that.
Right. Absolutely. So really relying on viral traffic and getting the audience to start sharing it as much as possible. So,
yeah. And that's tricky, right? How do you get to do that? Like, I think you got a guy in Australia that's got, I don't know, 75 million hearts.
Yeah.
I don't even know his name. Okay. Dan.
I don't remember. I did interview a guy who just had it. He just hit his first million. Which I thought was pretty damn cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, I went to the bank the other day. The loan came up. It was $1.8 million on a piece of real estate I own. It's the second loan on a deal. And they're like, hey, it's time to pay this loan off. And I brought my hearts in. I said, I have 12 million hearts with Periscope. Okay. I'm willing to trade 8 million of them. And they didn't take the deal.
They didn't take it. No. Apparently you need money, right?
Apparently money is important.
So where do you see Periscope headed over the next 12 months, and video live streaming and that kind of thing? Where do you
look? There's going to be tremendous competition in this space. There's Periscope, there's Meerkat, there's Blab, there's Facebook mentions.
Yep.
I was one of the first people on Facebook to be asked to do streams there. I did a stream on Periscope this morning. There was 2,000 people on it, me swimming in the pool, giving a life lesson. So there's one of my things I do, life lessons, right? And it was basically with me swimming in the pool talking about how many of us quit. We quit all the time. I've quit so many times in my life, it's unbelievable. If I did that same stream on Facebook, there would have been 15,000 people on it.
Right.
So the broadcaster, I have to start saying, as somebody that's got rich in content and has a following, I have to start making some decisions. Do I do this on Facebook or do I do this on Periscope?
Right. Yep.
And that's where Periscope, for a guy like me anyway, has to start making decisions about which one of these do I use, because I can't use them all at the same time. Now, that being said, let me just say, I have used 4 different streams at the same time.
I was going to ask you that because I've seen people doing it and they set it up so you've got it all.
I am the originator of that. Okay. Yeah. I am the first guy to ever I did a Meerkat, Periscope, a Facebook stream, and a Blab all at the same time. People were like, why are you doing this? I said, I don't know where the audience is.
Right. Well, you get some great data from that.
Yeah. And I broadcast it over our TV network, which is GrantCardoneTV.com. Because ultimately, you want to control your stream.
Okay.
It's your content. It
is your content, yeah.
It's your content, and you want to control your stream, your audience, and you want to have them going back to some place. I mean, everybody, I want Periscope to do well, but at the end of the day, I need my family to do well, my business to do well, and I need my customers to not get lost in all the clutter of the universe.
Absolutely.
YouTube, for instance, is the best. YouTube is, yesterday's Periscope, right? That I get more traffic from YouTube than any other space. But that being said, I love YouTube and I hate it because YouTube's a garbage pit. It is a place of 99% nonsense and bad news and drama.
And too many distractions.
Totally. And I could say the same thing about Periscope.
Yeah. You've shared a ton of awesome information. And I know in all of your Periscopes, you mentioned, Grant Cardone, your website, you want to go and push everybody to your website.
If I have trouble finding you, that is a major problem. Okay. I don't even need to tell people how to follow me anymore. We know that when we're going to run that big ad here in America, we're going to scorch America with a big radio campaign.
Right.
All I need to do is repeat my name over and over again because I've already laid the groundwork. When they search Grant Cardone, you're going to find me. You're going to find me on Twitter, LinkedIn, Google+. You'll find me on every freaking possible medium, any road that travels in the universe, okay? Concrete or telecommunications. It is your job as somebody that wants to get your name known. If you have a company, you have a great product, you have a great service, it is your obligation to promote yourself on every line possible. The fact that you don't like Facebook or Periscope or whatever the medium is, what we're talking about today is not what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. It's going to be a different name, but the reality is your company hopefully will still be in business. You know, I'm going to be in business longer than Periscope will be.
Yep.
I guarantee you I'll be around way longer than they will. And all these mediums are going to continue to change and gyrate, get consumed by other companies. The goal is to be a player in the space and use the mediums, Periscope or whatever, to make yourself known, respected, admired, and remembered.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for having us here. Grant Cardone, it has been an absolute pleasure, and I'm sure people are going to love all this content. You guys who are watching, please leave your comments in the comment box below. Let Grant know what you thought about what he's had to say. Make sure that you go and follow him and check out his Periscopes and everywhere else that he is. And look out for the video tomorrow, and we're going to be sharing some more information all to do with Periscope and making sure that you get your name and your brand out there. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.